Hello, good morning, happy Freedom Friday.
Happy Friday. Like, yes, Freedom Friday, but can we just say we made it, Allie? And I'm so glad you're here.
Gosh, I'm in studio today. We have all of our children in studio as well. And we have like acting director Zoe.
Listen, when you're a mom and you have to still do all the work things, this is how it works, right? Bring your child to work day.
Or is it bring your child to the GOP event that's happening in Orlando this week?
Why aren't the GOP events family friendly? I don't know. I don't understand. We're so glad you guys.
They're like $800 a seat. That's why.
Fundraisers. Thank you guys for joining us here on Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. We're so grateful that you guys are here. Whatever streaming platform you are watching us on, please make sure you comment down below. Let us know. We were learning yesterday where some of our viewers are viewing from. Alaska. That's pretty amazing. I mean, I don't know.
Canada was one of them.
Canada.
I love it.
I love it. Make sure you guys drop us a line. We do monitor those throughout the show. Allie, we've got a lot to cover today. Some fun things coming. Fitness is making its comeback again. Karoline Leavitt really dished a whooping from the press podium there in the White House.
It was a smackdown. You'll see why.
It was a smackdown. Plus, while all the liberals are crying big crocodile tears over what American Eagle did by putting a blonde-haired, blue-eyed actress in their last ad, well, we're going to double down on that because that's how we do it here. Let's open the mic.
All right, let's go.
To where we started, we're wearing our red hat tonight. It takes more than just a feeling. Oh, better be believing, and America's gonna be home.
What do you do when they try to cancel you? MAGA Nation, we cancel proof. My red hat stays on. My red hat stays on. You know I love God, but in Trump I trust. November 5th, you gon' ride with us. Our red hat stays on. Our red hat stays on. It's the mayor of MAGAville, the RNC King. 2024 freedom gon' bring. Mr. Red, White, and Blue. I'll still fight for each one of you. And keep your red hat on.
What do you do when they come for you? Freedom's what you gotta lose. Red hat stays on.
You know, I just noticed you didn't bring your pom-poms, did you?
Did not, and I should because today it's a winning Friday. I mean,
all we do is win.
All we do is win. All right, so we are going to surprise you guys with a little ad that we did on the heels of Sydney Sweeney backlash. Guys, they're talking about how this woman, this beautiful actress,
Sydney Sweeney, love her.
She's amazing, right?
She happens to be blonde hair and blue eyed. She can't help
happens. I mean, it's genetics apparently. But the left is melting down, and so we decided to stand 10 toes down and make them cry harder. Take a watch.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
You see what I did there, right?
Yes, tell me that was not amazing.
Stirring the pot a little bit. So what we did is we encouraged the other strong women influencers in our circle.
That was political savvy Tiffany Savage. Sorry,
yeah.
And Liberty Valkyrie on X. That's Heather. We love her.
Love you guys. And really, just the idea that you're not going to tell us what conservatism looks like. You're not going to tell us what America looks like. Right. What is Americana? It's all of us. We're all different shades, different, I don't know, features, different genes, different genetics. Not everything that features a white person in an ad is Nazi propaganda.
Well, I've been called white supremacist, so I mean, I might as well own it, right?
Well, you know what?
While I wear some American Eagle jeans, let's go.
You look good in those American Eagle jeans. So guys, make sure that you guys get out and let's put a call to action. Take a nice photo of yourself this weekend in your favorite pair of denim blue jeans. Post it. Make sure you tag Allie and I at Real Allie Lachey, at Michelle Posey, at Open Mic Ladies.
Open Mic Ladies, and just put I am American Eagle.
Love that.
Why not? Let's start our own campaign and make the liberals cry even harder.
Make them cry big.
Goodness
crocodile tears.
gracious.
Allie, you actually launched this yesterday. The news about America basically making America healthy again. Yes, Maha, but we're going back to the Presidential Fitness Challenge. Yes. This is pretty exciting. Take a quick look at this. It's the Presidential Fitness Test being implemented.
We have a president that knows sports unlike any other. He brought together 30 of the most elite athletes to bring back the Presidential Fitness Test.
We think we have the opportunity to change in the 70-year history of PCSFN the course of where it's going currently. We have some of the greatest athletes behind us from all different sports to headline, envision, and empower the students of our young generation.
I've watched sort of the decline of the youth of America and their ability and sort of the decline of the importance of fitness and health and nutrition and all of it. And it's an incredible honor, and I'm thrilled to dig in and get to work.
We're all about helping young youth to move. It's about sport, it's about fitness and nutrition. I have a passion for all of them. So I'm excited to be able to make a difference in kids' life moving forward. So I'm very thankful to President Trump for giving me this platform and for us to change the generation.
That's put out there officially by the White House. But he's brought some great athletes. That last one there, Annika Sorenstam, broke a lot of records in women's golf. Pretty exciting. President Trump's he brought together 30 of the most elite athletes.
Including Triple H. I mean, come on. And then you guys know that almost all of the UFC fighters, like especially the champions, are like, they're so MAGA. They love Trump. They love what he's doing for America. They love America. So I'm excited to see what our youth is going to look like when they're able to compete. One of the, I was watching a news show, and one of the anchors was saying, we have been a country of low T for so long. It is time for us to get back to testosterone and true masculinity. And that is being strong so that we are able to protect the most vulnerable, which is our women and our children, especially since we have had a border invasion the last, I don't know, 4 years, 5 years.
At least. Well, listen, these fitness standards are really something that's been long overdue. Say goodbye to the participation trophy era. This is not something that's really been reported on a lot through mainstream media, although my credit goes to Newsmax for having this story. They basically doubled down on the same thing you just said, Allie, that low testosterone, overweight, and the overweight obesity epidemic in our country with our young people is creating softer versions of ourselves. Let's take a quick listen.
Fit not fat, to quote our defense secretary, Pete Hegseth. President Trump signing an executive order, like as we speak, to reinstitute the presidential fitness test because America has a real problem.
The order that I'll sign today in a few moments directs the council to develop strategies to improve America's physical fitness and renew the American spirit, excellence, competitiveness, and sportsmanship. To that end, I'm pleased to announce that we're officially restoring the Presidential Fitness Test and the Presidential Fitness Award, and it's going to be a very big thing. This was a wonderful tradition, and we're bringing it back.
In 1980, not a single...
So he goes on to say, and I give a 1980 statistic that says, we basically had less than 20% obesity in our young people. Today, Allie, we have almost an 80% epidemic of obesity in our nation. And so the numbers have flipped in just 4 decades. Yeah. So it's time, guys, it's time that we do something about this. And I think this is kind of cool, Allie, because, even you as a mom, me as a mom, this makes it easier for our job, because how many times do we try to encourage our kids to eat healthier? Although my daughter loves Taco Bell 24 hours a day. It's not a good thing, Brie. It's not a good thing, but
she's going to be so mad at you.
It's not, Mama. It's not a good thing. But
there is Starbies, Mom.
I have water today.
Phil called out. Yes, we're calling you out. No. Wait. No, this is homemade coffee, baby.
It makes good coffee.
Sis, listen, it's adaptogen mushrooms and organic belly-friendly coffee. It's lovely.
Belly-friendly coffee. Let's put some of that's how it should be marketed.
Low acidity.
But this is a good thing because I think it ultimately will help not only our nation get back in shape, but we need them for a strong military. You heard him say Pete Hegseth would prefer fit,
not fat. I mean, let's
We're gonna get canceled for saying that word.
But that is my requirement. Like, can you run a 2-mile? God forbid can you run a
fire
2-mile
weapon?
Can you run a 2-mile while holding a weapon and carrying 135 pounds? I'm just asking. Just
requirements. I don't know. Requirements. Can you?
Because if I can outrun you, you got a problem.
Listen. Can we start with can you be faithful? That should be the requirement.
And honest and loyal.
Trustworthy, loyal.
Oh, that's too expensive, apparently. Even for millionaires.
We're just going to stop there. If you guys like that kind of banter, you'll have to tune into Open Mic Ladies First. That'll be coming soon. Okay, let's go on to putting Big Pharma on notice.
That's what we're going to be doing. Yes, that.
Donald Trump is really putting Big Pharma on notice. Take a quick look at this official White House letter. I love how he signs his name. He should be a physician. I can't read that. Basically coming out and saying, America
first. Heartbeat of America.
That's what it is. Oh, wow. This is basically saying, guys, that, America First policies didn't just end with education and border security. It also includes how we treat diseases and who gets first access and affordable medical care and pharmaceuticals. We can say what we want about Big Pharma being run like a cartel, but if you have a medication that seems to be working for you, why are you paying as an American citizen sometimes 3, 4, 5, 10 times more than they would, say, in another country? That is because Big Pharma uses our USA taxpayers to sort of make the difference of what they aren't getting overseas. This is going to stop now. This is at the direction of Donald Trump. Makes you wonder why Democrat and Republican presidents alike have allowed this to go on for God knows how long. Maybe we should check how heavily invested Big Pharma is in our elected representatives.
Exactly. And so it's like, I remember when EpiPens were like $2,000, $1,500 for an EpiPen. You can only use it once. So if you use it once, you're out $1,500. But you can go to China or go to another company outside of the US, Canada, somewhere else, Mexico, and buy it for way less than what we would be buying it here. That goes for a lot of medications, chemo, it goes for cancer drugs, it goes for, blood pressure medication. I mean, but it's not, and it doesn't even just stop there. We're actually trying to get better healthcare and access for our veterans through the, I believe it's the CARES Act.
Well, and there are many in Congress that are trying to push for this. I know one being Stubbe, our representative.
Yes.
And you should also be pushing for this. You can push for this on the state level as well as federal level, but wouldn't it be nice for the federal level to actually kick in and offer what they're trying to do is be able to allow veterans to use the primary care physician of their choice.
Right. Access. Yeah.
It's a step up from TRICARE. This is much better, obviously.
Community access. I think that's what
it's called.
Gosh, we read so much policy. It's like all jumbled in there sometimes.
It's like we got to rattle it around a little bit.
I'm like, wait, where did I see that?
More wins, Allie, coming directly out of the mouth of the Treasury Secretary, Scott Bessent, who we love here very much. He said he's on the cusp. This means it's probably going to happen. This is what they do in news cycles. They drop a little nugget on Friday so that Monday they pick it up and it's a huge report. Possibly a trade deal being negotiated with China. How does Trump say that?
China.
She does a good Trump impersonation. She does a great job. Take a listen.
We met for 2 full days in Stockholm. The Chinese are tough negotiators. We're tough too. It was led by the vice premier, my counterpart, Hui Feng, who I have great respect for. He is both a statesman, a tough negotiator, and very senior in the leadership. We pushed back on them quite a bit and made our positions known. I believe that we have the makings of a deal. They announced that we would have a 90-day roll, which was a bit premature. Ambassador Greer and myself will be speaking to President Trump today about whether we will be doing the roll by the August 12th deadline. There's still a few technical details to be worked out on the Chinese side. Between us, I'm confident that it will be done, but it's not 100% done.
Not 100% done yet, but obviously in the works. What would that do to the narrative that, Trump is just going to divide the world if we can get that accomplished?
Well, he's already accomplished so much with trade deals and working with other countries, and with our tariffs and with peace around the world. He's actually negotiated. There's talks, I believe, that there's solid negotiations between South Korea now with tariffs. And there's allegedly supposed to be some negotiations with North Korea.
Yes.
Kim Jong-un to denuclearize North Korea, which is amazing. So I have full faith in President Trump that he's going to actually work with, I don't want to say work with China to get them to come to the table
for the betterment of the American people. Really, like it's called paying your fair share.
Right.
Before we go on to this next story, can we just cut for a second? Okay, listen.
Yeah. So
pre-show, I was telling you, you do a very, very good Trump. And you said, somebody asked you here in the studio, Allie, are you going to buy Kamala Harris's book?
So, yeah, I was on OAN last night.
Oh, that's
Dan
right,
Hall.
Right. Yeah.
Guys, go watch that segment. It's great. We talked about all the crazy things, including Kamala Harris's new book. About,
Did you know she wrote a book?
I mean,
she put 2 sentences together.
How? It's like a word salad. I don't want to buy that. I don't even know if I can read it. Did AI write that?
Oh, no.
But we were talking about it in studio, and you did a really great Kamala impression.
And I kind of took offense to that. Like, how am I doing a great Kamala? Because that's not like, I won't take that personal.
No, don't take it personal.
I said, oh my gosh.
What did you say?
I don't know. I said, it's a book that's written by an author. And when you're an author, what you do is you write books. And the books tell the stories of the author in the words of the author as they're writing the book. And that was my Kamala Harris impersonation. And scene.
So we were like, you do a great Trump. You do a great Kamala.
But I don't want to do a great Kamala.
It's just hilarious.
Yeah, but
we need to get, what is her name? The Kamala impersonator on our show. That would be pretty fun.
Yes. We need to get Sean Farage.
Sean Farage has actually they've done a segment together. It's actually pretty funny. But I did want to kind of go back because I said it was the CARES Act. It's not. It's the community care provisions provided in the Veterans Access Act. And they're Concerned Veterans for America is one of the advocation groups that is trying to make it work a whole lot more permanent.
Right.
And Marsha Blackburn was trying to make the community care provision permanent for our veterans. So yes, we definitely need that. And on it, since we're talking about our little loop with pharma, we need to remove their immunity.
Oh yes, let's do that. Let's push for that. This is the segment that we were referring to. This is Karoline Leavitt basically talking. We're going to tease this because this is our next segment, guys. The release of what they're calling the Durham Annex. It's a portion of the Durham report that you were never allowed to see. It hit yesterday. It's pretty amazing. Take a quick watch.
Well, I think a major organization of the national security apparatus, at least here at the White House within the National Security Council, has indeed taken place. And the president entrusts his current CIA director, John Ratcliffe, and our ODNI director, Tulsi Gabbard, to make the necessary changes to ensure classified intelligence, especially that could implement or hurt the national security of our country, does not make its way into the hands of irresponsible actors who want to politicize that intelligence for their own end. Since you brought up the declassification report that was put out by Senator Grassley today, I'm glad you brought it up because this should be a story every outlet in this room should be covering. This is further evidence that Hillary Clinton approved the Russia hoax against President Trump. Her campaign financed it. Again, she approved it. And the FBI and the CIA were both weaponized to, as our director of CIA has said, accelerate this hoax against then candidate and former President Trump. To answer the heart of your question, the president wants to see justice served, and he trusts the Attorney General and the Department of Justice to implement that justice and hold these people accountable.
Amen. Accountability has got to be coming. And again, he's saying he has full confidence in the DOJ under the direction of Attorney General Pam Bondi. So we will see more. Guys, we're going to hit that story hard coming after this first commercial break. Guys, don't go anywhere. Keep it locked here to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. We'll be back with more in a minute.
Gold IRA companies are a dime a dozen, especially in conservative media. We vetted out 34 companies and chose Augusta Precious Metals.
With the lowest across-the-board spreads in the gold IRA industry, Augusta saves Americans thousands of dollars.
They are the only major gold IRA company that has zero complaints from their customers. Zero. None.
Augusta Precious Metals does not have commissioned sales reps, which means their goals are aligned with yours.
They were the only gold IRA company that demonstrated integrity and transparency without using gimmicks.
The informative one-on-one web conferences by Augusta Precious Metals answer all of their customers' questions before they make a move.
If you're ready to learn about protecting your wealth and retirement with gold and silver, request your free gold guide from Augusta Precious Metals today.
Visit patriot.tv/gold. That's patriot.tv/gold today.
Reading some of these comments. I think we have an AI bot in our Rumble chat. It is what it is. Thanks for the engagement. We appreciate you so much.
Glad that AI is a fan. Honestly, let's do that.
It is what it is. It is what it is. All right. So we have to be a nation of laws and a nation of law and order. If we are not,
absolutely,
then this just continues
and
gets worse.
Absolutely. Guys, you wonder why things happen where people don't come forward or don't speak out. Can you imagine being at actually, I'm sure a lot of you can. Can you imagine being at a job where you know that there's some wrongdoing happening and you are kind of forced by upper management to keep quiet? How many of you, knowing that the livelihood of your family depends on your paycheck, how many of you would be able to stand tall and proud and not go along with wrongdoing out in your workplace? It's very difficult to do. At corporate level, there are some blockades in place to protect you. Not so much in the federal government, although now we do have whistleblower protection, and that is what we're going to focus on first. Tulsi Gabbard coming out with a groundbreaking report that she is now speaking with multiple whistleblowers who were involved at the time under the Obama administration as they got this false information in. These are high-ranking intelligence officials that smelled something was off. They do this for a living. They were like, you cannot run with this. This is not corroborated. You cannot do this. Take a look at what Tulsi Gabbard is saying here. She reveals that ODNI staff, that's Department of National Intelligence, they were threatened to go along with the Obama-directed Russian hoax. She went further to say in a tweet.
Work environment.
I mean, she went further to say in another tweet that she commends these whistleblowers for coming forth, for being very courageous. But they had come out and specifically said that these findings were not adequate enough to run with on an official report, and certainly not at the detriment to then candidate and incoming president Donald J. Trump. Didn't matter. They forced the hand, and now these people are given whistleblower protections to be able to come out. We're so grateful for Tulsi to be able to work this. Listen, I fear for her safety every day.
And the whistleblowers. I mean, I hope that they are all under very good protection. Because this is scary. I don't think people really understand the gravity of the situation in which we're finding ourselves in. We had a sitting president try to actually not even try, they succeeded in a coup amongst a sitting like, this is just insane to me. Like, I can't even comprehend it. But this is what I want to say to our MAGA conservatives. Take a chill pill. Okay.
I don't want one yet.
It has to move incrementally. We cannot see indictments like that fast. They're just coming out with the information as they find it. It's going to take some time to get everybody, the population, the populace, we the people, right? The public opinion to get on board to what we have already known for so long.
And that has been the frustration, I think, amongst our viewers and amongst a lot of America First out there that are just common sense individuals. You started to smell something was off throughout COVID.
Yeah.
You smelled something was off when they were trying to tell your children they didn't know which bathroom to use. It's
been 10 years.
Nothing has passed the sniff test, like in a long time.
Yeah.
Now you find out about, the JFK assassination and Martin Luther King assassination, the role that the intelligence community has played. I think those were all precursors to be able to open your mind to say, okay, if they did this 60 years ago, what the hell are they doing to us now?
Right.
So what we're referring to, That was for you, Brie. What we reported on just a few days ago, even on social media, was the discovery by FBI Director Kash Patel and his Deputy Director, Dan Bongino. Right. The discovery, imagine going to the Federal Bureau of Investigation's FBI headquarters, opening a door and being like, well, what's being stored in here? These are bags that are set to be burnt. These are literally documents.
Right.
Allie.
And go ahead.
So part of that discovery is what you're seeing now being released in what they're calling the Durham Annex. It's part of the Durham report that was considered classified so that you and I would not be able to see this information. Senator Chuck Grassley has been working really for about 8-9 years to try to get this stuff released. Finally, Tulsi Gabbard releases it. It's pretty
Amen. Now, I know that some of you, not you watching, but there are some of people that are out in your circle of influence that are like, how did Kash Patel walk into this just random room? First of all, it's not a random room. There were skiffs that were built, that needed to be built in order for the different agencies to communicate to each other. They can't just openly communicate like this. They have to go into a secured facility, which is what a skiff is. It's like a aluminum thick door room. It's
like our workroom.
We have one that we go in most times, which is if you
we don't take our phone.
Anyway, it was one. There were so many that were popped up. A lot of them ended up not being used, and so one was essentially being used as a storage room. It kind of just got forgotten about, and Kash Patel was on the tour of the Hoover Building and found one that had some interesting things in it, and that is why we have the information we currently have.
We love former Representative Matt Gaetz, who now has his own show. We're just going to listen to the first minute or so of him. This is a great introduction that he did on his show, kind of explaining the Durham Annex and the documents dropped. Take a listen.
We have breaking news tonight. Senate Judiciary Chairman Chuck Grassley has released something called the Durham Annex, which was previously classified following the report of Special Counsel John Durham to Congress 2 years ago. Durham was tasked with investigating the origins of the Russia hoax, and frankly, I always thought he was part of the cover-up.
The fact that you didn't charge Andrew McCabe, you didn't convict the lying Democrats or the lying Russians, you didn't investigate Mifsud or the Mueller probe. Do you see how silly this looks? Like you found the lawyer, you found the phones, but the actual dude who got ordered by Western intelligence to go start this thing you couldn't find. But when you are part of the cover-up, Mr. Durham, then it makes our job harder.
That was June 21st, 2023, more than 2 years ago. I was on the committee he reported to, and even I had no idea there was some classified annex that contained such damning evidence. Here's the most searing of that evidence. First, Obama sanctioned the use of all administrative levers to remove possible negative effects from the FBI investigation into, you guessed it, the Clintons, the Clinton Foundation, Hillary Clinton's email correspondence, and the State Department. So while Obama was using every means at his disposal to protect Hillary, the appendix also reveals that there was a, quote, two-pronged Democrat Party opposition focused on discrediting Trump through debates and propaganda activities. It goes on to say that the Clinton staff, with support from special services, was preparing scandalous revelations of business relations between Trump and the Russian mafia, end quote. This is wild.
My
it is
goodness. Absolutely wild.
We looked at each other like
congressional representatives had no idea, and they are supposed to provide oversight. Guys, this is sedition, treason. I know treason is hard. I know treason is like it's a word that we are so comfortable using, but legally it's difficult to it's very difficult to prove treason. And then a lot of these people have, well, congressional members have immunity unless it's for this, but this is just wow.
Well, Allie,
the levels of deceit, the audacity.
I really want to focus on what most people are saying. There's 2 pages specifically in this annex that, again, not a part of it wasn't stored with the rest of the Durham report. That parts of it have come out for you to see. This was considered classified information. Our intelligence community right now, under the direction of Kash Patel, have viewed it. They're disclosing to you now what really the American people should know. Sorry if your name's included in this, but maybe you should have thought about that before you unmasked General Flynn. Just saying. That was my little bump. Ching. Okay, so this first, if you take a look at this document, and of course we're trying to zoom in on this so you can see it, but the part I want you to pay attention to, this is part of the Durham Annex. It says HRC, that's Hillary Rodham Clinton.
Right.
Okay, at the time she was running against Trump, so just somebody who's a candidate for office. approved this idea, we'll get into who Julia is later, about Trump and Russia hackers tampering with U.S. elections, saying that they will go on to make this an Olympics level story. The point is making Russia play on a U.S. domestic issue. So they're trying to first, this is telling you where this is coming from. It's coming from Hillary Clinton.
From Hillary
She
Clinton.
bought and paid for this intelligence. So anybody in the intelligence community,
in her kitchen,
anybody in the intelligence community would have to sit down and read through this. And that's why you have whistleblowers who are saying, excuse me, this is not something that you can run with. This does not smell right. It's not corroborated by evidence. Please don't run with this. They were silenced. The second part, and let's see, I think this is actually in lineup. If you can zoom, if you can get the second document up, it kind of shows the full page. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's highlighted. So better for y'all.
So this, the second part of this says this is an important story because it would be the first time that we know of for a state deliberately uses the infiltration and publication of data to interfere with the U.S. election. Again, they're giving the talking points. The second part says Julie, we'll talk about who Julie is later, says it will be a long-term affair. This will demonize both Putin and Trump. And the FBI later will pour more oil on it. I also, the next document, which I don't think we have a clip of actually here, sorry about that, goes on to say that what this is going to do is this is going to cast a diversion on something that was in the headlines then, which was Hillary Rodham Clinton's emails that were classified that should not have been sent on an unsecured server. So they wanted to make this as a decoy.
That she destroyed. Is this why they raided Mar-a-Lago to see if President Trump actually had any of this evidence? How would they have justified that if the evidence was found in FBI headquarters? They didn't even know where their evidence was hidden?
No, they had stuff next to Biden's Corvette.
Out of control.
It is out of control, but I do want you guys, I want you to listen to Devin Nunes.
Yes.
We're huge fans. He's done a lot of work with Flynn since Crossfire Hurricane came out. But Devin Nunes was one of the few who was in the fire at the time, asking really all the right questions. When you think back, he didn't know what we know now. And yet his intuition was to ask these questions in the capacity that he was elected to represent the people. I love that he asked the questions. Of course, he was later forced out of his position on Capitol Hill. But take a quick listen. He's going to hit on that exact topic about the Mar-a-Lago raid.
How would you rate that criminal acuity with some of the top members of President Obama's team?
Well, you know, the one thing that I didn't have that Director Gabbard was able to acquire that was released about a week ago was the information of the Presidential Daily Brief, PDB, but I won't use the acronyms. But basically, this is the briefing that the president's supposed to get. Now, one of the reasons I knew that the Russia hoax was a hoax right at the beginning is because right after the 2016 election, the House Intelligence Committee that I was chairing, we were one of the first to be briefed by the FBI and the intelligence agencies about the election. This is a common briefing. It happens every election. The House Intelligence Committee, Senate Intelligence Committee gets these briefings. Well, at that briefing, we were told that nothing unusual happened. And in fact, when I read the PDB, it jogged my memory to say, wow, I heard that before. I heard it actually right after the election around Thanksgiving. And then now we know, leading up to December 9th, meetings occur. Obama, and look, he was responsible. He was in the meeting. He was the president. Now, who brought him the idea? Who initiated it? I don't really care. I just want to make sure that everyone is held accountable. And hopefully they're, as they start to look at all of this, and I really see this as one giant hoax. Okay, so it's not just about the Russia hoax. You will remember well the Ukraine impeachment hoax.
Yes.
The Hunter Biden laptop hoax. I mean, we can go on and on about hoaxes. These are all done by the same people, and they should all be held accountable. And so it'll be interesting to see, and I say, the biggest hoax of all the things, there's lots of them, but of this giant hoax was the raid at Mar-a-Lago. And I think that could hold some keys, whatever evidence can be found there and how it relates to all of this, which is essentially just a get Trump hoax all in one. Hopefully they can find some information there, and then everybody you can lump all of this in. You're the lawyer, not me, but this is conspiracy. It's a quintessential definition of conspiracy. And ironically, my criminal referrals that I made, many of them actually were based in what Jack Smith went after Donald Trump for. So it's the age-old Washington establishment that whatever they accuse you of doing, they're actually doing themselves. So they went and took what they were doing.
Oh, the irony. Now, I kind of want to bring this to everybody's attention. Donald Trump is on Truth. Our president, President Trump, is on Truth. And he is not just tweeting, truthing, I guess you'd say it. But one of them says, it's time to indict Obama, the traitor, for treason. Another one says, treason. Evidence proves both the FBI and CIA were deeply involved in the historic 2020 election. Lie that Hunter Biden's laptop was Russian propaganda. Retruth if you want these criminals brought to justice. And it has a picture of New York Post spies who lie, and it has literally everybody on it who's been lying since then. He also has another one that says, until this happens, nothing will change. And it's everybody that is colluded against President Trump and his campaign and we, the American people, behind bars, making it look like they are in jail. And one last one is Adam Schiff.
Shifty Schiff.
In handcuffs. And it says, new transcripts show that Schiff knew there was no Russia collusion, but he lied anyway. Guys, this is from the commander-in-chief. This is not just social media posts. This is a mandate for accountability. Absolutely. And we all voted for that November 5th.
Absolutely. And if you might be asking yourself, why Russia? Why do they keep going back to Russia? Why didn't they say he was colluding with someone in the Middle East or somebody? Because let me tell you, I was listening to some reports this morning, and I agree with one commentator this morning who was speaking with Megyn Kelly, actually, and said, one thing that they would also do, and I'm talking about the Clintons and sort of the deep state in general, and it's on both sides, Republican and Democrat, they love to stir this type of dissension between huge countries, huge nations on the globe, because when you can stir that up, you now have the American people willfully going along with maybe another war. If you think that Russia is the bad guy, then you're okay if all of a sudden something erupts between Ukraine and Russia, and all of a sudden we're going to be, the David and the Goliath story, right, and we're going to come to the aid of Russia. And who makes money off of that? Who makes money off of the endless wars? The person that authored that is General Michael Flynn. The understanding that that's what's been happening, these endless wars. Flynn blew the lid off of that, and nobody wanted to do anything about it back then, but shut him up. So I think it's interesting to see them always yielding to Russia. And also the reports have come out too that if Russia wanted anybody to win the 2016 election, it would have been Hillary Clinton. Not only did they have dirt on her, but her health was not in the best. She was on tranquilizers. Dude,
for tranquilizers. So that's who they wanted us to have as president? A woman who was battling severe psychosis, who had to be tranquilized, and a drunk who had word salad. And another one.
But who wrote a book. She wrote a book, and she authored the book
about words. About her 107 days of usurped presidency candidacy.
I'm just saying, I would buy a book if it was called Word Salad.
Word Salad.
And it was kind of like all the fumbles of Kamala Harris.
It would have to be quoted, because I could not read that straight through. I would throw it into the fire.
We'd put it with the Durham Annex files with Burn File.
I'm going to go to Barnes & Noble, and I'm going to hide the book. I'm going to see it, and I'm going to hide it. I'm going to hide it behind all the other things.
Oh, guys. This is so great. Thank you so much for following us. We want to make sure we give a shout out to our Spotify audience because I know lots of you will tune in when you're on the road. Hey, I'm getting ready to go on a road trip. So those Spotify.
And we know it's hard that you can't see. Sorry.
I know. We try to explain what's happening in real time. Thank you guys for tuning in. We are going to be right back after a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We've got more Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. Stay tuned.
Do you have enough food to feed your family for several months if the supply chain falls apart? If not, why not?
There is no guarantee that grocery stores or even local farmers will be operating in your area if circumstances change.
The problem is that most survival food sucks. That's why we get long-term storage food from Heaven's Harvest. Their food doesn't suck.
Heaven's Harvest uses all natural ingredients that they freeze dry to maximize taste, nutrition, and shelf life.
They source their foods locally, right here in the United States. They even offer heirloom seeds so you can grow your own food.
It's the kind of food that you and your family could enjoy every day. And the way things are going, that might just happen.
Visit patriot.tv/food. That's patriot.tv/food and use promo code PATRIOT at checkout.
Don't wait. Stock up on long-term storage food today before food prices start rising again.
Sing it? No,
I'm not singing it.
Allie, you have a great voice. Why don't you
Thank
sing
you.
it? Thank you. She has a great voice.
Thank you.
Guys, thank you so much for tuning in to Open Mic with Allie and Michelle. We're going to just keep the ball rolling. We are not joining like a Tulsi Gabbard fan club here. We're simply saying that she is amazing in what she's been doing. I'm saying I would join it. I would join it. I'd write for a membership letter. She's also blowing the lid off of Project Mockingbird. This is not something that we're making up. This is something, if you're familiar with the church committee and the hearings there, this came out as in Revelation during the church committee hearings, saying basically, yes, not only is your government channeling propaganda through to you, but they are also driving it through Hollywood, other media sources at that time, radio. I'm sure this was a part of what they were doing. I'm sure with Facebook and Zuckerberg, it's kind of just an extension arm of Project Mockingbird. Listen to what Tulsi Gabbard had to say to Benny Johnson real quick.
The media being used as a propaganda mechanism, we saw it flatly. I mean, I think it's the smoking gun, quite frankly, of the Obamagate narrative and the Russiagate narrative, that it was so baked in that the New York Times and Washington Post went and ran with it. Some would say that that's part of Operation Mockingbird. Some would say that that's part of what we learned in the church committee, that the intel agencies were using media outlets as their mouthpieces, and that those mouthpieces would parrot the official narrative. And I wanted to ask you, is this operation still going on? Are you aware of the intel agencies working directly with media outlets in order to push prescribed narratives that may or may not be true?
It's something that we've already had to deal with, Benny, within this administration, where there are people within the intelligence community who believe that their will is more important than the will of the American people, and will weaponize intelligence by leaking it to their friends within the mainstream media with the intent of undermining President Trump's agenda. It is not one that he hasn't already talked about in every rally and town hall that he did throughout the campaign. I don't even know how many there were, but President Trump is enacting the very thing he promised the American people he would do in this election. So people in the intelligence community, they may agree, they may disagree. That's not the point here. As intelligence professionals, as people who work in the national security space, in the intelligence community, they are required to fulfill their mandate to their oath to the Constitution of the United States and to the President of the United States, who was duly elected by the American people.
I agree with that sentiment. Yeah, that's why I won't take an oath to the Republican Party, because my oath is not to a party. My oath is to country, period.
And Allie, this is why I think we see time and time again some of the best leaders come from a former military service, because we were just talking before the show, when you go into the military, you legitimately have a love of country. You may have a voting record that's more red or blue, but you put all of that on the shelf when you go into the military, because you serve under the commander in chief that the people elect. Sometimes it's Democrat, sometimes it's Republican. That's why it's so interesting to see a Democrat step in a healthcare industry field within the government and do good things to make children healthy again. You see a Democrat step in here because let's face it, the Democrat Party left them. They're no longer center.
Ostracized them.
They did,
because they wouldn't bend the knee to their complete and utter tyranny and craziness. And when we say that, when you operate under the constitutional law that founded our nation, that is the bedrock of our nation, you can't go wrong. You really can't, because that protects literally everybody. Everybody.
Sounds like a school board meeting.
All, and everybody. That includes literally everyone, because of their rights are protected within that document. And when you have moral and just people that understand their proper role and responsibility as pertains to the national constitution and their state constitutions, which codify the national constitution, you will have a just government.
Absolutely. And that's why we have to pay close attention to what's happening within our states, Allie.
And get active.
Get active. But listen, this next report kind of makes me a little bit proud, because it's almost like Trump is giving permission to America First conservatives who've been elected to office to go ahead and double down on playing hardball. This is a report coming out of CNN. We don't show CNN reports very often here because it's crap. But Crap News Network, that's what it is. Instead of Clinton News. Anyway. Basically, CNN is saying that Democrats have a huge problem going on in Texas because they're doubling down on redistricting congressional maps. Take a quick listen to this.
It could make a huge difference. This, in fact, could win or maintain control for the Republicans in the House of Representatives. What are you talking about? Well, Texas has 38 congressional districts. Look at those that Trump won last year by at least 10 percentage points. Under the current lines, it's 25. Under the proposed lines, it's 30. That's 5 potential pickup opportunities for the Republican Party. They are playing hardball at this particular point. And right now, it seems to me that Democrats are actually playing close to the Little League Pee-wee.
So 5 seats. What would 5 seats in Texas do for?
Did he really just say that? He might get fined.
He had to count it out. 5. It's 30 and 25. So a little bit of Common Core math would get you there. But But this, so they're redistricting the congressional seats there in Texas, probably potentially going to pick up 5 seats in the GOP. I know Florida is thinking about
Florida is trying to do the same thing. Why? Because when you include illegals in your census, you become lopsided. And we need to right that ship and make sure we have proper representation. And right now, we have a Republican stronghold, and we need to start swinging our bat. Okay?
Yeah.
Okay?
Like it's the big leagues.
Not Pee-wee.
Not Pee-wee.
Okay? If you want that, go play in the sandbox. Go babysit.
Go babysit. We ain't doing
We're
that.
done.
Here. We're done. So get behind your states. Make sure that your state legislators are doing the same thing. We need to this will help increase our lead, really, in both House and Senate. So that's exciting. I love this is part of where they get the audacity. If you want to know where the Department of Audacity comes from, it started with Trump because he's amazing in coming out and saying the things that we all are already thinking. He takes. Open Mic was founded on that principle, I think.
So thankful for his candor.
So this reporter tries to paint Trump in a corner, asking him why he didn't do tariffs like this the first time around, and listen to his response. Take a listen.
President, your tariffs policy goes into effect tomorrow.
Yeah.
As you know, a federal appellate court today heard oral arguments about whether or not you had the authority to unilaterally impose those tariffs. I'm not going to get you to weigh in on the legal arguments, but you're weighing your decision to do that, your authority to do that based on a 1977 law. It's never been invoked before. Why didn't you invoke this law?
Well, we've been winning all along.
I just want to ask you, why didn't you invoke this law in your first term? You could have taken in billions upon billions of dollars in your first term, but you waited until your second term.
Yeah, because in my first term, I was fighting lunatics like you who were trying to do things incorrectly and inappropriately to a president that was duly elected. And we did do certain tariffs in the first term. If you look at China, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars from China. But when COVID came, the last thing I was going to do is tell France and Italy and Spain and a couple of other countries that we're going to hit you with tariffs. We had to fight the COVID situation when that came. But if you look at my first term, we took in hundreds of billions of dollars worth of tariffs, but you people didn't cover it very well.
Bring it back, Krista.
Stuck in traffic.
Oh, no. We'll bring it back here, Krista.
Whoa. Sweet peeks. It's all right. No, yes, I thank you, President Trump. How this honestly goes to show, one, how inept a lot of the legacy media are. Right?
Yeah.
And two, because they're asking ridiculous questions. And two, how short our memory span is. Did you not remember that we went through COVID during his first term? Did you not remember that? Do you know how the media would have spun him asking for tariffs when we were going through a global crisis?
Wow.
Are you guys really serious with these questions? No wonder why we have podcasters and independent media in the White House press corps. This is why.
Because listen, any type of education or the critical thinking skills will allow you to ask a question and find an answer. And if you don't find an answer, then you double down until you do. And that's just something that I think American people we've always done, right? It's in our innate being. It's part of what brought us across the huge Atlantic Ocean back in 1776.
Curiosity.
Yes, it's exactly what did that, to make us want to separate from a totalitarian king. We're never going back there again. And that includes submitting and bowing to a deep state. I love this. He says, and then he goes on to say, listen, COVID happened, and I wasn't about to implement tariffs on countries that are trying to scrape together resources, to defend their people against the China virus, really. So kind of excited. You saw a little
and the abuses
sneak peek of this,
pharma.
but
yeah, sneak peek. This is good though.
Have you ever had to admit that you're wrong?
Mm-hmm. I have, and it's okay.
Allie, I don't do this well.
I'll admit when I'm wrong. I'll admit when I'm wrong.
So I've had a humble sandwich served to me a couple times, thankfully by people that are very loving and very kind, and they only want to see me grow and expand and get better. And I love that, and I'm thankful to those people that don't mind doing that. Not just Allie, though, but because as a sister, you should be able to tell me the things. I appreciate people in my life like that.
It's so a little harsh though sometimes. Like you kind of feel a little. You're like, ugh, prickly. Hold up, but then you have to reflect and go, okay,
yeah,
I know that came from love and not from maliciousness.
And we all have room to grow.
Yeah.
And I can imagine that there are a lot of people in the throughout our country that are feeling right now a little duped. I know a lot of people did, when things came out throughout COVID about the ineffectiveness of masks. When internal Fauci emails were released that said, oh, he did know not only that they were doing gain of function research in Wuhan, but they funded it. Actually, your tax dollars helped fund it.
Mm-hmm.
And they knew that, the early onset of treatment for, whether it's ivermectin or hydroxychloroquine, that it did work. They knew these things. So a lot of people who fought hard against that have a feeling of like, I don't know, like, how did I believe that? So when somebody comes out publicly, whether I agree with him or like him or not, and says, listen, I'm rethinking some of the things that I reported on, and I'm rethinking a lot of things that I believed, predominantly Chris Cuomo. Let's take a listen, and then we'll get your response.
Stuck in traffic. I'm remembering right now, wow, I'm wrong a lot. We don't like to say it. We don't like to admit it. We really don't like to correct it. But that is how you grow and you get to a better place. And it is such a precious commodity right now. I've been wrong. I've been wrong about political issues. I've been wrong about people. I've been wrong about myself. I've been wrong about my responsibilities. I've been wrong about my opinions, my tastes, my choices. I've been wrong. And that's okay. Hopefully you learn. Hopefully when you're wrong, you get to a better place if you do the work, unless you stubbornly hold on. And that's where so much of us are stuck. It's not just being wrong, it's refusing to learn what's right. I've been wrong. Have you been wrong? If you say no, you're wrong.
Okay, Chris Cuomo. First of all, lie number one, you said that you were stuck in traffic. Sir, it is clearly evident in your video that you are moving. Okay. Problem number two with your video, sir. What the hell are you wrong about? First rule in redemption is first acknowledging there's a problem, but you have to name
what that
problem. If you're wrong, I get it. We can say, openly, yes, I'm wrong. But what are you wrong about, Allie?
So, and you're right. So maybe we just send him a simple message and let him know all the things he's wrong about. I can understand. I love the sentiment,
Durham report,
right? But
Russia hoax, the laptop.
What I hear you saying is that when it comes to male or female admitting that they're wrong about something, in order to really take and absorb that apology, there has to be two things. First of all, there has to be specificity on what exactly honey, I'm sorry, is not enough. Like,
no.
Tell me what are you sorry for? And number two is the change in behavior. That is still to be seen.
Because otherwise, if you just say you're sorry and then you continue to do the same thing over and over again, that's your character. And then that's when we just got to split ways because
insanity.
It is insanity.
It is insanity.
But then you have the audacity in thinking that you're not going to get caught because you're so used to people enabling your bad behavior. So it's just like you need to vocalize exactly what you were wrong about. And I've spoken to several New Yorkers that I know. I even have family still in New York. Some of them don't talk to me, but I have new family. They're my MAGA family, America First family, and we're always with faces together. Thank you, Miss G. So she was saying that she knows the Cuomos, and she's like, I kind of think he's placating. He's playing politics.
Absolutely.
Because Cuomo's actually running for, what is it, mayor?
His brother.
Governor?
His brother's running for
Right, they're running for mayor. And they're trying to get like in the good graces back with the people. Oh, he's really sorry. Sorry for what? Stop falling for narcissism. Hold yourself accountable.
Allie, that hit on so many levels. This is why we need to be in the office together more often. Wow. Allie, thank you for reminding us of that as women and the American people. We alluded to yesterday, we're going to skip, Krista, the next one and go straight to how Trump responded. I want you guys to take a quick listen to this, and Allie, we'll talk about it. See if we can get that up. It's his tweet.
Many Democrats.
All right, I'll read it for you. Many Democrats and Democrat supporters have been criticizing the American Eagle Company. We talked about this yesterday. Because Sydney Sweeney was a cute, blonde-haired, blue-eyed model actress who did a commercial for American Eagle. If it's possible, Krista, if you could find it again. I know we did this at the top of the hour, but I want to make sure we hit this again because it was so much fun. When all the liberals started crying that this was Nazi propaganda because they used a blonde-haired, blue-eyed girl in an ad talking about jeans.
Bro, they called me white supremacist. Do you see me?
They did.
Do you see me? And I've been called since then.
You've been what?
Since then. Several times over.
So Allie and myself and MAGA conservative influencer women that don't really care what your opinion is of us, quite honestly, decided to branch together and say, you know what? I am American Eagle then. Let's go ahead and roll our new ad.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
I'm not here to tell you to buy American Eagle jeans. And I definitely won't say that they're the most comfortable jeans I've ever worn. Or that they make your butt look amazing. Why would I need to do that? But if you said that you want to buy the jeans, I'm not going to stop you. But just so we're clear, this is not me telling you to buy American Eagle jeans.
Sydney Sweeney has very canes.
You see what I did there, right?
Oh, she has great jeans, and so do we.
And so do you.
And
Make
so
sure
do
you
you.
post your jean pics throughout the weekend and tag at Open Mic Ladies. Listen, all I can think about is that
Crybabies. It's totally ridiculous.
all I can think about
They're
is
fat and they're ugly.
somewhere out there is my mom going, seriously, you stuck your butt out in front of a. Yeah, listen, it
My
was
nalgas are better than
undirected-
yours. My nalgas bring out to the yard.
It's under the direction of Marisha. I blame Marisha.
Oh my goodness, we love you guys so much. Thank you for joining this week's. I'm like today's
Friday. We're almost there. Girl. You can do it.
Like, we appreciate you guys. Make sure you like, share, comment. Leave us a comment, you guys. We want to know how you feel sweet about our little commercial there. And don't forget, take your pictures and make the liberals.
Hey,
more
real
cry,
quick,
baby.
we do have some people commenting. So
Hi
there, EJ Singh. Nice to see you.
Thank
you. Thank you so much, guys. Make sure you tune in Monday. We've got more breaking news coming to you, and follow us on social media. We'll see you next.
See you Monday.
And I don't care how they look at me in the deepest heart of a blue city. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on. And I know when you smile, you like what you see. If you love America, you'll agree. Red hat stays on. Red hat stays on.
Did you ever wonder what happened to the Drudge Report? During the 2016 presidential election, Matt Drudge was one of President Trump's most vehement, adamant supporters. He was promoting Donald Trump really since the escalator. Okay. And he remained steadfast. He and his site remained steadfast throughout the primaries. They ripping on Ted Cruz, ripping on John Kasich, ripping on everybody, and focusing on getting President Trump the nomination. Of course, after he got the nomination and then won the general election, Matt Drudge and the Drudge Report remained fairly true to President Trump, but things started changing pretty quickly. And all of a sudden, we started seeing a rapid shift from being pro-Trump to being very vehemently anti-Trump. Now, prior to this, there was a lot of speculation because there seemed to be a lot of Bernie love, oddly enough, didn't seem to fit for a pro-Trump site. Now, there have been a lot of theories, and I'm going to share mine with you. Let's go through some of the ones that are most popular. Some say that Matt sold the site, that he's no longer involved with Drudge Report. Others say that he's involved, but that the site was owned or is now owned by the Chinese Communist Party or some members of the globalist elite cabal or the deep state or the Democrats or whoever. I've heard those rumors as well. My theory, and there are others, to be fair, my theory, which is based upon nothing but speculation, is that from the very beginning, Matt Drudge has always been a progressive. He's always been a leftist. And you could see this even before the 2016 election. I think you could see hints of this throughout. And what happened was he had found his niche decades ago. He found a very high quality money-making niche within conservative media, and he stuck with it. And it built him power, it built him a whole lot of money. And he thought, I'm going to play conservative. He hired some great conservatives like Andrew Breitbart and the like. But I think that after the 2016 election, after President Trump won, and after he started getting blamed, quote unquote, blamed by legacy media, the Washington Post was talking about it. A lot of people were saying how really the Drudge Report was one of the biggest reasons that President Trump won. I think that Drudge had been living a lie the entire time and decided, you know what, I can't do this anymore. I made enough money. Let's go ahead and shift over and show my true colors as a Bernie bro. And I think that's what happened. I could be wrong. But either way, it doesn't matter. The reason I bring it up is because Patriot.tv is more than just a place for shows. We are turning it into essentially a Drudge alternative, a place where you can see content from multiple sources available right there for you to browse and get a true conservative perspective. So check it out. Go to Patriot.tv. That's Patriot.tv and see what we're doing today.